Hi everyone. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video. It's been a good while actually. That doesn't mean I'm gone forever though. In fact, I wanted to make it up to everyone waiting for me to make another upload. So I'm here to announce a brand new Iceberg series. I've always wanted to make one, and I think it's a good way to come back. I've decided to use Reddit users Bad AI Gaming's Iceberg for this video that I found online. I've been planning this video idea ever since I went on hiatus, so it's been on the back burner for a little while now. For those who have found this video and still don't know what an iceberg video at this point is, I'll explain it briefly. Essentially, throughout the iceberg, there are a bunch of entries that all mean different things. Entries near the top are typically well known, and if you ask someone who knows the series, they'll likely know about it. But the deeper you go, the weirder and the stranger and the more niche things get. Now I want you guys to keep in mind this is my first big video project, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below for how I could improve. This is also a learning process for me as well. Aside from that, let's get started. Gone. While it's fairly common nowadays to have third-party DLC characters to generate hype around the game, back then it was a very rare occurrence for guest characters to make an appearance outside of small cameos among franchises where the developers already can access the IPs. Well, today we have characters like Clive in Tekken 8, and we had characters like Akuma and Geese Howard in Tekken 7. All the way back in Tekken 3, we had Gon, and Gon was the first ever guest character to ever appear in Tekken. Now, who is Gon? Well, Gon is just a little dinosaur, and he comes from a niche little manga. It was produced by Masashi Tanaka and came out in 1991. And in the manga, Gon is just a little dinosaur who gets himself into all types of mischief. And you can tell what types of mischief he gets into just by his move list. Just watching the footage, you can literally see him breathe fire, roll around, and even fart on people. So how do you get him? In Tekken 3, there were two ways to unlock him as a playable character. You could either beat him if you found him in the Tekken Ball mode after playing long enough, or get a high score in the Tekken Force mode, and when it tells you to input a name, if you type in Gon for your high score name, you'll unlock him. Gon is just the first of several guest characters Tekken would introduce. Tekken Bowl. While Tekken is primarily a fighting game, that doesn't mean you can't have a couple goofy side modes. In few games, you can actually go bowling. Tekken Bowl first appeared in Tag 1 as a bonus mode. You unlocked it by simply beating the arcade mode 10 times with any character. This mode would not return for a while until Tekken 7, where it would return as a paid DLC bonus. Now in both versions, choosing characters would give you slightly different stats like power and control. In fact, if you got a strike during 7, it would change the bowl alley to more flashy colors and would encourage you to go on a more streak-based experience where you try to get as many as you can, and the moment you fail, it ends. Tekken Bowl is a simple but relatively fun distraction whenever you get bored of playing the main game. Dr. Bosconovich. While Dr. Bosconovich hasn't made any recent appearances, he's still a very important character in the Tekken lore, as he's responsible for the creation and has given several characters mechanical upgrades. One big example is he gave Yoshimitsu a cybernetic arm back in Tekken 2. So if you ever wondered why Yoshi can spin around and fly by spinning his sword, it's because of Dr. Bosconovich. He was also responsible for fully converting Brian into a cyborg at the end of Tekken 4. He was also responsible for the creation of the first Jack robots, as they were created to be weapons of war for the Russian army. One of his most influential designs would be the creation of Elisa, as Elisa is a cyborg whose design is heavily based off her granddaughter, which is the reason why Elisa has Boscanovich's last name, as Bosconovich essentially created his own daughter. While Bosconovich is normally a background character who mainly appears in lore or specific cutscenes in Tekken, in a few appearances he's actually playable. He first appears as a playable character all the way in Tekken 3, where he's a hodgepodge of different movesets and would defeat you Looney Tunes accident style. And then he would make a return in Tag 2, where they would only enhance this aspect about him further and make him even more of a troll character. While Dr. Bosconovich has been made in recent appearances, he's a very important character in the lore of Tekken. Tiger Jackson. While Eddie Gordo is a very well-known character in the Tekken franchise, especially for his unique capoeira fighting style, there was another character who would fight just like him. Tiger Jackson was an Eddie Gordo reskin in Tekken 3. Now you would unlock the secret character by beating the arcade mode with 6 different characters. Now there are some people who think that Tiger Jackson was the initial design for the capoeira fighting style. Well, I don't know if this is inherently true. If it was, I think it's a smarter idea to have Eddie as the capoeira representative, as Tiger Jackson would probably age very poorly. Heihachi and Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2 had several guest characters that was dependent on which console you owned the game on. GameCube owners got Link from The Legend of Zelda, Xbox players got Spawn from DC Comics, and PlayStation players got Heihachi as a guest character. He is actually pretty unique in Soul Calibur, as he's the only character who uses hand-to-hand martial arts, while the game is primarily based around weapons martial arts. Yoshimitsu is another character, while not being a guest, is also a staple series of Soul Calibur, as well as Tekken. So when Heihachi was introduced in Soul Calibur 2, you could play this matchup one more time in a completely different game. Heihachi Mii costume. As part of the Kazuya guest character DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate, they included Mii costumes. One of those Mii costumes was in reference to Heihachi Mishima. While Heihachi is not a playable character in Smash Bros., you can see a more detailed version of him in Kazuya's own stage, where if you get a KO while playing on the stage, he actually gets up and starts cheering in excitement. While I'm sure it was possible for them to implement Heihachi into the game, I think it's probably a smarter idea to put Kazuya. Mushroom Battle. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 released on several different platforms. One of those platforms included the Wii U, and the Wii U version actually had exclusive game modes. One of those game modes was Mushroom Battle. In the game mode, you can eat power mushrooms from the Mario games to make your characters extremely large. The red ones would make you slightly bigger. You had the yellow ones, which would make you as large as possible. There were golden mushrooms that would accelerate your speed. There were poison mushrooms that would make you weaker and smaller. And you even had power stars, which would make you completely invincible. Now, while it is a funny gimmick to look at, and there are certain situations where the stage and evasion systems look extremely janky, it's just a fun little side mode that doesn't really do much. But if you have the Wii U version, I don't know, give it a shot, I guess. The Devil G. The Devil Gene is a very important part of the Tekken storyline. It's also created a lot of retcons within the storyline. The Devil 4 made its first major appearance during Tekken 2. During that time, Kazuya didn't have a Devil Gene. Instead, he had made a deal with the devil so he could survive the fall when Heihachi threw him off a cliff. The reason Heihachi threw Kazuya off the cliff was also different. As before, it was a test of strength to see if Kazuya was worthy of leading the Mishima clan. That was until Tekken 7, where the origins of the Devil Gene were given a detailed explanation. The Devil Gene actually originates from the Hachijo clan. The Hachijo clan entered the Mishima family when Heihachi married Kazumi. Kazumi had tried to kill Heihachi as her clan predicted that he would cause great destruction upon the world. Unfortunately, Kazumi ends up failing and Heihachi is forced to kill Kazumi. With Kazumi's reveal, Heihachi also realizes that Kazuya has the devil's blood inside of him as well. This also makes Kazuya extremely angry at Heihachi, as to him, Heihachi just killed his own mother in cold blood. So to confirm his suspicions, he throws Kazuya off a cliff, and if he survived it, it would prove that he has the devil blood. Kazuya does survive, and the Tekken story begins from there. The devil gene has been a massive plot point ever since Tekken 4 when the existence of the gene was first mentioned. After all, the whole plot of Tekken 4 is to drive Jin and Kazuya out of hiding, so Heihachi can harness the devil gene for himself. Interestingly enough, the devil gene is implied to be gone from Kazuya and Jin in Tekken 8 after their major battle, with the only known bearer of the devil gene currently known being Reina. Who knows what they'll do with the devil gene in Tekken 9, if it ever comes out. Button mashing. If you play any fighting game, button mashing is a very common practice, and Tekken is no exception. After all, when people don't know what to do, why not press every button at once?
Range Lydia. Nice little jab to keep the pace up. Cartwheel Lydia is mashing. May I direct your attention? The input's on the left side of the screen. Now usually in Tekken when you get hit and knocked onto the ground, there are two inputs you should do, either a 1 input or a 3 input to tech roll in either direction. What Lydia has decided to do is get the maximum value out of her controller and input Rage Art and Heat Smash and 2+3 and 2+4 and 2.
Many people like to say that Tekken 8 promotes smashing, as you have stuff like safe armor moves, auto combos, heat smashes, and all the like. Hell, when they released Eddie as a DLC character, he actually came with an auto combo, which you can see in the footage right now. Using this auto combo, someone decided to run an experiment to see how far you could simply go by pressing one button. While the Eddie bot was a menace at lower ranks, naturally, as it's all a knowledge check, despite the auto combo being strong enough to enter orange ranks, the bot could never stay in Garyu, the first red rank, which is also one of the most common ranks in the game, which to me shows that mashing isn't everything, as people began to learn important aspects of string defense through the Eddie bot, either by encountering him or finding resources to deal with the auto combo. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned from the Eddie bot. If you're still here, thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. This will be the first of many Iceberg videos to come in the future, as right now I'm currently planning around 8 total videos for this Iceberg series. If you have any suggestions on how to improve on this series, or if I got something wrong about a specific entry, feel free to tell me in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, as my channel has remained dormant for a long amount of time, and doing those things will only help me grow. Aside from that, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.